Hello, welcome back. This is the AVA Max expose on It's That Girl or It's Not That Girl special edition. But first, timing is everything. Time is already short and it just feels like time is going so fast, okay? And I'm busy. I gotta wear many hats. I gotta work a 9 to 5. Try to get this business and whatever off the ground. Trying to be this public figure, and it's tough. So if I need to call somewhere, a medical office, or somebody's texting me, and then like they want to call back later, but I'm busy at the 9 to 5. I'm busy doing this or filming or whatever. Timing is everything, right? So it's like, if it's not in the window how I need it, I gotta move on, because, and eventually, hopefully I get back to you, because my days are packed. Okay, do any of you feel like that? Are your days packed? You know that timing's everything. There's a certain time for things, and once they pass, you got to keep it moving. Yeah. Now let's get back to the expose. All right, hello, welcome back. Welcome back to the It's That Girl or It's Not That Girl series, special edition, the expose. Today's topic is my girl, AVA Max. Yes. So this is a show, for those of you who are new, where I review and react to usually music from popular artists, popular of today, yesterday, and beyond, okay? And so today is a expose. The reason why I did that is because this is not like a real expose in the terms of expose. These are my thoughts on the artist, right? These are my thoughts on observing and watching the careers of artists or faux or gimmicky artists or whatever, okay? So let's just go ahead and get right on into it. This is It's That Girl or It's Not That Girl, the expose special edition. Here we go.
Peyton, the business biz. Why don't you tell them how much of a warrior we are?
Hello, welcome back to It's That Girl or It's Not That Girl special edition expose. This is Peyton 3.0, aka Work Lena. Okay, the artist, the musician, the entertainer, working round the clock, only sleep about 5 hours a night. Hence the name Work Lena. Okay. But not the YouTuber, not the influencer, and not the content creator. As I say on all my videos, those are great things, platforms and tools to build the reputation, the business, the name, the brand, but most importantly, to build community. Now, if you like what you hear and see today, go ahead and hit that like button, share with your friends, comment, all of that. The haters are welcome too, because the algorithm just loves engagement. So you are welcomed. Anyway, let's get into it. Here's the thing. Where I first heard AVA Max was in the club in LA, West Hollywood, Rage, Friday nights. I heard the song come on. I didn't know who this girl was, and I was not impressed. Okay, was not impressed, because I was like, this song is tired. Number one, the music is generic as heck for a pop song. And I just thought it was an excellent writing like that. It's still to this day, I don't really care for that song at all. So every time it would come on in the club, I'll be like, didn't care for it. So I never really checked for this girl after that for a while. And then Spotify recommended, when she dropped her album, that if I would have been interested in her album. So I said, okay. This is that girl who did that Sweet But Psycho song. Didn't care for it. But then I turned it on. I put it on. And unfortunately, the album did not make me change my mind about AVA. I didn't even know she had put out more singles before, after Sweet But Psycho. But we'll get to that in a minute. And I was just like, this album is all over the place, and the music is just not artistically hitting like that. And I was just like, no, this ain't it. And so that was it for me with this artist, right? And it took a couple years later, when she obviously was working on her second album, when I seen the single $1 Million Baby drop, where I was impressed by this first single from the second album. And that's what made me look at Ava Max twice, right? Love the song. And then I saw that the album was going to be dropping soon. The album dropped. I put the album on, and I was impressed. I felt like she had found an identity. I felt like I knew who Ava Max was. And I got my entire life. I put that album on repeat. Diamonds and Dance Floors. Put that record on repeat. I was singing her praises. And this made me go and search for her music videos, because I didn't know how many singles she even put out. But I didn't know she had put out so many singles for the first album. But looking at her videos, her videography for her music videos, made me really, really fall in love with this girl, because it showed that she wasn't so serious about it. You know, she was serious about her music career, obviously, but she wasn't your typical run-of-the-mill pop star, if you get what I'm saying. She's very goofy. She'd be corny, and I like that aspect of it. Made me like her more. And she gave you I'm an artist for the outcast too, right? I'm that girl. And I agreed. So it was a major jump in improvement, 360 from the first album to the second album. But the music videos were giving me something to feast on as this artist trying to make her way, right? In the second album, I just played it over and over again. And I was finally a fan of Ava Max, okay? But after the second album, I just don't think that, honestly, marketing-wise, that Ava Max, she got enough notoriety for people to talk about her and make their own videos and She has a nice sizable fan base in the millions, right? But the numbers don't really tell the full story, right? The numbers don't tell us how strong of a fan base and how much of a household name that she wants to be that Ava Max really is, right? And so I started watching live performances, and Ava Max has got a voice on her. Yes, she does. There's nothing distinctively special about the tone of her voice. You've heard her voice before, right? You've heard her voice before in other singers. But she's just one of those excellent powerhouse voices. But when she's on that stage, a lot of times, I've seen a lot of performances where her breath control is just not there. Her breath control is not there. She's very shaky. She's gasping for the line. She's gasping for the air. And I'm just like, girl, like, what's going on here? Why is this acceptable to not just the audience we have today of music fans, but why is this acceptable to you? Because you are an actual vocalist, right? But you can't be a vocalist and you get on multiple stages sounding like hot mess, right? You can't do that. If you got a voice like that, you got to be on point most of the time, not some of the time when you're just sitting down, because maybe even though you look like you're in physical shape, maybe Ava Max is not in physical shape all like that. Does she really go to the gym? Is she hitting the weights? Is she doing the necessary bodily practice she needs in order to just be able to simply walk on stage, walk around and sing and be on point with the notes? Is her technique the best? Because it wasn't showing at all. And I was just like disappointed. I'm like, girl, I already know that you're better than this. But why are you coming on multiple stages sounding like that live? You know, so that's what got me, unfortunately. Still a fan, obviously, you know. But I was just like, girl, you gotta get that vocal situation together. You gotta get that it's not the vocals, it's the breathing. You gotta get your breathing together. It's not her with the dance moves, it's when she simply was walking. She was falling apart already, just walking. And I know usually in pop, you had to be a little more dancey a lot of times. You had to move around that stage and maybe give it a little two-step and a, you know. But with Ava, I'm just like, girl, if some people can just be the park and the bark. Park and bark. What does park and bark means? Well, in the vocal community, it means that their singers are just better standing in one place and delivering the voice. Excellently. But they're not the kind of singers that can move around the stage and keep the same vocal excellence and consistency, right? So if she's going to be this pop star, she truly needs to work on that, on consistency, not just getting on a stage every now and then and sounding good, but sounding good most of the time, right? Because nobody's perfect. But when you have that many performances, where your voice is just off and out of breath like that, a lot of times I've seen a lot of performances from her. I'm like, girl, what is this? What is this? Are we sliding backwards here? Let's get it together. So with that being said, she goes on and I think this EDM pop lane is great for her. And she's sticking with it, sings for this third album. And yes, she's gotten the critique that she's the samples girl and she's taking this, taking that. Folks, I'm gonna say this one time. There is nothing new under the sun. This industry has been around for years. As long as she has got the clearance from the people that own the songs and the samples, that is all that should matter. But also, that's really just many of her hits. It's more of a marketing tactic for singles to bring people in, right? It's a business move, right? But if you listen to her albums, there's not really a lot of sampling going on. It's just a few of the ones they want to hook their familiarity when they put these, for the ones they choose as singles. It's a strategy. It's a strategy, folks. So anyway, the situation is this. Her name is out there. She is known. But she still isn't quite at the level of known as somebody like an Ariana Grande or a Dua Lipa, right? Or even Tate McRae. She's in the back of the line of those girls, right? Because something is not quite clicking down. And we know that they're spending money on her and they're pushing her and they're throwing things at the wall, right? Especially during that first album. They got the formula now that's right for her, but she still isn't the girl in a lot of people's mouths, in the household mouth yet. She's not that girl yet. I feel like she can get there, but she's not. This won't be her third album. And she's not that girl yet. She's not in the popularity of, again, a Dua Lipa, Ariana Grande, even a Tate McRae. And I know she's trying to get there. Second album, done great, but I just don't think the second album got the shine in the push in the marketing, or if it did get the marketing and push, what was the connecting? Because to me, that album should have been big. I know it was big, obviously, probably overseas or whatever, because the Euro thing in the mainstream is huge. But it also, the EDM scene, it probably got a lot more love too in the US for the EDM floor community. But on the mainstream front, I don't think it was received as highly. They knew she was there, it did decent, but over here in the US or whatever, it just didn't. And I know she's trying to be huge and big here in the US, right? But right now, it's just not happening for her in the way she would like it to happen yet. And with this third album, It's going to be the pivotal album for her and her career. Because if this album doesn't pop, okay, because the first two, no matter how good they were or not, didn't pop like that. Didn't pop like a Future Nostalgia. Didn't pop like a Thank You Next. A Sweetener. It ain't popping like that in the US for her. Like the other girls in her lane. Like the Gaga, okay, Lady Gaga, honey, that they still compare her to. And I see why they compare her to Lady Gaga in a way, maybe in the look, at least on the first album. But in musicality, in the music itself, not really. Not really. But with this third album, this has to be the album that pops for her in the US. Because even if it doesn't pop in the US like that, she can just go ahead and have great success in the EDM floor community in the US on the dance charts if she's going to be a dance artist predominantly, and also overseas in those European countries where dance has been huge. EDM has been huge for years, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's probably even better because many people in the US won't bother her as much as they would in those countries. But she's not to the point of obscurity at all where people in the US would know who she was, right? There's still too many people in the US that wouldn't know who she is at this point, but she's not on the level yet, if she ever gets there, of the Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande, Dua Lipa, even Tate McRae. Okay. I'm excited to see what this third album holds for her. Absolutely. Absolutely. Either way, I'll be watching, I'll be listening to the album. But what I want to say is, girl, get those vocals together on the stage. Do your running, do your gym work, okay? Whatever you gotta do. Well, if it's not the gym and you are in the gym, you are working out, then get your breathing technique together. Use the upper body, honey, correctly. Okay? It ain't just breathing. There's so many more things you have to consider, okay, for excellence and longevity with your voice. Anyway, that's the end of this expose. This has been Peyton 3.0, aka Worklina, the artist, the musician, the entertainer, not the YouTuber, not the influencer, and not the content creator. Always getting to the check, working at 9 to 5, making that content, 5 hours of sleep, working around the clock, hustling. Okay? If you like what you heard and seen today, you agree or disagree, leave it down in the comment section and hit like or dislike. Either way helps the algorithm to do its thing better because there's engagement going on. Or you stay on the video and the watch time is high. Tells the algorithm how valuable the video actually is to people. Okay? So that more people can watch. But anyway, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We got 2 more episodes right here. Okay. Well, one's the playlist, one's the the recent episode. And stay tuned for another episode. Probably today or tomorrow, whenever this is actually posted. All right, folks. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.
Peyton, the business, biz. Why don't you tell them how much of a warrior we are?